genre.
Welcome back to The Doctor's Companion presents Doctor Who The Long Way Around, the weekly podcast where we review and discuss every episode of Doctor Who, one doctor at a time. I'm Scott Corelli.
I'm Cass Fredrickson.
And I'm Nick Jimenez.
Today on the show, we'll be discussing Blood of the Daleks, the 8th Doctor's 14th story, or so we are calling it. But more importantly, the start of what is called the 8th Doctor Adventures. And this was rebranding of sorts for the 8th Doctor and Big Finish Audio. Previous to this, he had just been part of the monthly adventures, which was like since 2000, they would release one Doctor Who story a month, and it would be, you know, either a 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th Doctor adventure. And they would just come out one a month, and, you know, sometimes it would alternate between them. Sometimes you'd get like, you know, 3 8th Doctors in a row or 3 7th Doctors in a row. But it was only one story a month, and they did that basically through, I want to say they stopped doing it kind of recently, but the 8th Doctor specifically left with the previous story that we discussed for the 8th Doctor. That was his final monthly release. And now with BBC 7, I believe, the radio station, they started making 8th Doctor adventures for BBC Radio, which is sort of like one of the reasons why I kind of do consider all this 8th Doctor stuff canon. Even though for some Doctor Who fans, they like to snub their nose at anything that isn't on television. Because it's on a BBC branded radio station, this stuff aired, like that all feels to me like, no, this is like legit just because it's not the TV show. And so, yeah, their big bright idea here was like, well, the new show has been on for a couple seasons, seems to be a big hit. People were real sad when that Rose girl left. So maybe we should sort of like restructure this show into 50-minute episodes, and, you know, start doing one-part adventures, and kind of like taking on that kind of new Who approach to storytelling. This particular episode is a bad example of that because it's a 2-part story, but for the most part, the rest of the season are 1-part stories minus the finale, which is another 2-part story. But this is the new rebrand of the 8th Doctor as the 8th Doctor Adventures. It's the introduction of our new companion, Lucie Miller, as played by Sheridan Smith. And I have talked up Lucie Miller for quite a while. And I think that it's funny because I had completely forgotten how she was introduced. So I was kind of excited to re-listen to this because I was like, oh, yeah, I don't remember how she was introduced. And then I was like listening to this and I was like, well, it's just Runaway Bride. When did this premiere? And I looked, guys, this premiered 1 week after Runaway Bride. 1 week.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This came out New Year's Eve. And that, well, I guess 6 days. So New Year's Eve is when this premiered. And, you know, that was on Christmas. So
that's funny.
6 days after is when this premiered. And it was just like, I feel like people were like, what? Didn't I just watch this on TV? But, you know, there's a lot of differences as well. It's just that first scene is really funny with how close it came out. But yeah, more on the, I guess, the story itself of Blood of the Daleks in a moment, but I do want to get your guys' feelings on, like, did you notice a change in tone or storytelling or anything like that? And what did you think of your introduction to Lucie Miller as a companion? Cass, we'll start with you.
I do think that this was still too long. Cause yeah, I was expecting 45 minutes and then I looked at the thing and it's like, oh, it's an hour. What?
Well, 10 minutes of that was behind the scenes stuff.
Well, no, like even without the behind the scenes stuff, because I didn't listen to the behind the scenes stuff. So it was still like about an hour. And I was feeling it in the second part more so than the first. But I did notice like there was like the energy of it felt different. Like I think just the change in like the pacing. And I didn't like Lucie at first, but she grew on me throughout the story, which
like
I know is like yeah. I like that she has Donna vibes, yeah. And
like 19-year-old Donna vibes.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny that like some of the plot of this did remind me of I think it's in the series 3, which is funny because this one came first. If I'm remembering the dates right. So, yeah, it was okay. I like 8's kind of relationship with Lucie, and I'm interested to see where it goes as he like hangs out with her more.
Yeah. Nick, what did you think?
Yeah, no, it was interesting. I too was because on Spotify it's divided into 2 different like files, like albums, I guess. So I was like, oh, cool, it's only an hour. I was like, oh fuck, there's like a whole other one. But yeah, I wasn't really. You're totally right. It is totally Runaway Bride. I just that didn't click in my head while watching or listening to this episode rather. But decent Dalek story. These stupid fascist bloodthirsty idiots, they just only know how to kill and hate, and the Doctor is just so exhausted by them, and I really felt that in this one. Solid supporting cast played by some fan favorite actors that we'll get into. Interesting, like this isn't a factor because these are meant to be listened to and our audio adventures, but out of curiosity I couldn't help but Google image Lucie Miller to be like, oh, how do they, and much like Charlie Pollard played by India Fisher, they are kind of modeled after their voice actress. And coincidentally there's like India Fisher and Sheridan Smith look very similar to me physically. And so I was just like, oh shit, it's just kind of like, hello, it's me, I'm like Charlie Pollard, but I'm Lucie. But they're both kind of like, full-faced, blonde, kind of short English actors. And I was like, that's really, like, that would never happen in the show, to just go for 2 very physically similar companions in a row. But yeah, I know Scott's been hyping up Lucie Miller for years, and so I'm excited to get to know her better. And but yeah, I kind of think to counter Charlie, I think it was 8's a bit looser, a bit more antagonistic, a bit more like they're at odds for most of the story, which is kind of fun. It's fun to see 8 be ruffled and not quite as elegant and fucking Neil Gaiman Sandman-y, and a bit more like, oh god, this oh god, I've had it. I've had it today. So yeah, fun enough. Fun story.
Yeah, I really like that he didn't ask for this. Like he's just had this hoisted upon him, this new companion. And so I really like that dynamic. I love the ending of this episode that literally ends with the 8th Doctor being like, whatever. It's just like really fun. It's like a really fun vibe to get from him. But yeah, I really like Lucie Miller. I think that she brings the best out of the Eighth Doctor, because I think that they are such, Charlie and the Eighth Doctor felt like two peas in a pod, in terms of like, they're both like vaguely Edwardian looking, and he's Edwardian looking. She's literally Edwardian, so like they just come from, it feels like the same kind of time and place, sort of a point of inspiration, I guess. And so sometimes I felt that they could feel a little samey at times. Whereas this is like, let's give him like opposite vibes, and give him something that she has no patience for whatever this is, like, and I like that. Like the first thing that she does is just like, is that your real hair? And I just think that that's really funny. I don't know. So I love Lucie. I love this era. I'm excited to get into it. That being said, Blood of the Daleks is probably in the top 3 weakest stories of this era. So, cause it is too long. There's not enough here to warrant how long it is. But it just feels like they're like, well, I think it's a mistake to start a new era of something with a 2-part story. I'm looking at you, 13th Doctor. And the second part of that story we haven't seen yet, where she gets her TARDIS back. It just feels like you kind of like want you want to end the first episode being like, and okay, we're off and running. And, that is not the case here, unfortunately. But yeah, as Nick said, 2 really great guest stars. We've got Haley Atwell as the main villain. She is in this fresh out of acting school. Like she had just graduated. Wow. Yeah. She's very young. Cause I mean, this is like 5 years before Captain America, which is like kind of where she became like fan favorite Haley Atwell, so she was like 5 years away from being Peggy. And apparently they were in, when they were recording, Nicholas Briggs, was recording his Dalek voice in another room nearby. And she was like talking to the engineer, about like what they would be doing today. And then she heard it and she was like, wait, shh. And then she like heard the Dalek voice in the other room and just started like dancing around because she was like so excited that she was going to be in Doctor Who.
That's so cute.
And just so excited that there's like a Dalek voice in the other room. Which I just love that story. I just thought that was so great. But yeah. And then shockingly, which I did not realize going into this, it also features as like the president or whatever, Eileen Clint is the character. The actress Anita Dobson, who of course is Mrs. Flood, which at the time, yes, which at the time of this recording, we have not completed watching series 2 of the new show, so we don't know what her deal is yet. So it's just like, she's popping up fucking everywhere. She's even in old episodes.
That's so weird.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so Mrs. Flood is in this also. It's pretty funny.
I hate the way they spell Clint.
That's true.
It's with a K, listeners. It's Klint.
Clint.
And Clint.
Because I guess it makes it look more like a last name, maybe. But then it's like, just come up with another name then. Yeah, I agree. Okay. So Blood of the Daleks, written by Steve Lyons, directed by Nicholas Briggs. We are, by this point in Big Finish's history, we are like fully in the Nicholas Briggs is steering the ship era of Big Finish. And so this is the Briggs era, which is kind of like the Moffat era of the Big Finish audio stuff. So this episode starts with Lucie Miller appearing in the TARDIS, and the Doctor just sort of like instantly rolling with it in a way that I thought was like like to the point where like it started out and I was like, did I miss something? Did I accidentally start playing part 2? And then, kind of like realizing like, oh, no. She just appeared. It's just like, he's just acting like she's been there for like hours for some reason. I don't know why. But then we get some fun exchanges, and she can't quite remember what she's doing there or why. That comes later. And then he's like, well, I'm just going to take you back home to 2006. And again, much like series 2, he can't. There's something blocking him from going there.
Mrs. Flood.
It's Mrs. Flood.
God damn it.
So then he's like, okay, well, we flew over to this other place, and now we're on this like, is it a space station? It's like a colony. Oh, it's a colony world.
No, it's a planet.
It is a planet. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it has the name Red Rocket Rising, and that's why it's confusing. I guess it reminds me of Utopia a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which would also be coming right around the corner. And also features a seemingly innocent character revealing themselves to be someone else.
Yeah. There's something in the water in 2006.
Yeah, what's going on? And they're like the lead scientist of the place. Wow, that's weird. So anyway, they're on this human colony. They've been suffering from asteroid strikes. We meet the acting president, Eileen Clint, aka Mrs. Flood, along with a scientist named Asha, and a seemingly paranoid schizophrenic named Tom, who is just
literal
like a
tinfoil
maniac.
hat.
Yeah, just an absolute maniac, this guy. And yeah, like they're here and they're basically trying to figure out what's going on. They're looking for people to save them because they're like absolutely getting wrecked by these asteroids. And the president is in communication with some alien beings who are going to come save them. And Asha was an assistant to like the main scientist who has gone missing or presumed dead. And it's like this whole thing. And then you basically find out that the Daleks are like, hey, we're the aliens and we're going to come save you. But in reality, they just want to kill these other experimental Daleks that Asha has been creating with the blood of the Daleks that are half human, half Dalek abominations. And yeah, there are points in this story that I was very confused by who was talking in terms of like the two Dalek factions.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you be? Like,
yeah, right.
I don't even remember any attempt to differentiate.
Right? And they kind of should have, right? You would think.
Like some of them were a little more timid, and like they referred to Asha, who is actually like the mad scientist had like transplanted his brain or something, his consciousness into his assistant to get out of prison or something. And they call her like their creator, which is like generally but when two Dalek factions are like shooting each other on the street and there's like mob noises, that is when I checked out. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point, Cass. Like, credit to Nicholas Briggs, the actor. I think performance-wise, he gives it his all to differentiate, like acting-wise, between the two Daleks. Like, if you're paying attention to the scene, you can really tell when, like, the mutant Daleks are communicating with Asha, Haley Atwell's character, whatever the scientist name was. Like, oh, creator, blah, blah, why did they fear us? Martez. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, why do they fear us, Master? We are good Daleks. And then and the regular Daleks like freaks, kill freaks.
But when you have like the voice filter on it, it's really hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean it's the kind of thing where it's like it's it's a stereotype, but it's like actors think they can do anything. Like if you're like, yeah, can you do this? And they're like, yeah, of course I can. I'm an actor, aren't I? And you're like, okay. But in reality, it's like, yeah, he's doing a good job of like differentiating. But at a certain point, it's like they still just sound like two Daleks talking to each other, which makes it difficult. No matter how good he is at emotionally differentiating the two.
Well, especially when there's but when it's just shouting and shooting.
Exactly.
Then it's like, okay, well, I can't really tell what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't think you thought this one through, buddy. It's like, I think it would have been helpful if like the human Daleks maybe like didn't have a filter on their voice and just like talked like he does into the microphone, like pre Dalek filter. I feel like that would have helped because it also would have like added like a humanity to them.
I think the Daleks should have been voiced by Chris O'Dowd. I think that would have been fun.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I think.
Oh, creator, why do they hate us?
Oh my god. I think the plot got away from itself when it's basically just like, because like I don't understand. I know he's a mad scientist, but I don't understand mad scientist motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just becomes kind of like Davros, but from Wish. Like
mm-hmm.
like I don't know why you're. Yeah. Like, I don't know why. I know that because the asteroid that destroyed the planet was like sent there by the Daleks to like wipe out these inferior Daleks. But like, why was he experimenting with making new Daleks to begin with?
Because he wanted to control them. I think he wanted like a race that he could control. I think.
Okay, because he has like greater evolution or whatever, but I'm like that. I don't understand the plot thread. Like, how do you get from point A to point B as far as like what the villain motivation is?
Yeah.
Because when it ends with Haley Atwell at the end being like the tragic mad scientist being like, oh, why? Why isn't this working? It's like, well, I don't get what you thought was going to happen, or like,
right.
What evidence you had to think that this wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they all fight. The cliffhanger is lame. It's yet another he's got a gun type cliffhangers, which I think we should all just retire collectively in all of Doctor Who. And you know what? All other things as well.
Sure.
No more.
Yeah.
He's got a gun cliffhangers. So the Doctor allies himself with the regular Daleks for a while because he's like, I gotta kill these other Daleks and then we'll figure out a way to kill the original Daleks, but like, enemy of my enemy, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then bails on that and collaborates with Tom, the crazy guy, to like destroy both Daleks. And yeah, he like eventually convinces Haley Atwell that like, if Daleks have dominated a world, like there's nothing it could ever be other than like a world filled with hatred and war and death. And she stops the birthing process, as it's referred to, which is
I hated that.
Continue the birthing.
Yeah, yikes. Big yikes. And also like her body that she stole, or Martez's body that he stole, is like breaking down, and so he's not going to be around for much longer. And the Daleks annihilate each other, and the humans are like, well, I guess we got to rebuild this thing. Cool. We don't have to worry about asteroids anymore, so I guess that's good. But then the president comes on and is like, hey, great news, everybody. Remember when I said we had that offer from the Daleks that they were going to help us? Remember how poorly that went? Well, guess what? We got another offer to help us. So we're going to go do that. And she gets cut off. Like the message gets cut off in the episode before she can say what it is. But it's the inhabitants of a planet whose name begins with Tel. T-E-L.
Yeah. So, okay, no shit. When I was listening to this, I was like, oh, it'd be funny if I didn't think they'd actually do the thing, but I was like, oh, it'd be funny if they like get helped by Cybermen next, and then
yep.
It's literally like, okay.
Yeah. So,
well, at least it won't be as hard this time.
Yeah, they defeated the Daleks, and now they've got the Cybermen to look forward to on the way. And Lucy realizes that she witnessed something, and that's why the Time Lords sent her to be with the Doctor to protect her, because they're like, somebody's the whatever, you saw a thing. And whatever that thing is, there's going to be people who are going to want you, and we got to keep you in hiding. So you're going to go with this guy. Zap, boom, you're in the TARDIS. And also, we've blocked some of your memories of what you witnessed, so that it doesn't, like, I don't know, but fuck with you. Or if you do get captured, you can't tell anybody.
Plausible deniability, I guess.
Right, plausible deniability. And yeah, he's like, yeah, like I literally tried to leave you there and I couldn't. So I guess I'm stuck with you. And she's like, God, you're such an asshole. And he's like, whatever. And then that's
it. Oh, and we get the hint, the tease of a reoccurring antagonist of sorts in the form of the headhunter.
Indeed. Indeed. The headhunter, who is
hot
ongoing character, and not lame. Like, not lame, you know? Like, she's actually
that's good.
Yeah, like as she comes back and stuff, no, it's actually pretty cool. Like, she's actually cool.
A lot of reoccurring characters on these audio adventures lately.
Yeah, because we're kind of like waist deep in them now. But yeah. This is so this is cool. This is the start of series 1 of the 8th Doctor Adventures, and I think we've got, I believe it's 6 one-part stories and 2 two-part stories for a total of 10 episodes a season. So pretty cool. Yeah, that's Blood of the Daleks. Any other thoughts on the like plot, or any like particular scenes that stood out to you or anything like that?
There was a part in part 1, kind of towards the end, that I thought was interesting. Where, so the humans in this episode, they see the Daleks as their salvation. Like, they're coming to help us and save us. And the Doctor is like, no, don't trust these guys. Like, they're bad, they're evil. And I think it's Mrs. Flood, like Clint, the president, who is like, no, look at these things. Like, they've survived war, and they're these pitiful little squid babies that are like trapped in this metal carapace, and these creatures don't need to be feared, they need to be pitied. And I was like, as someone who's like has listened to and seen so many Dalek stories, I just like, that's kind of fun how, like, from an outside perspective, they could be seen as like pitiful, like Gollum kind of creatures, and not like robot Nazis.
That's true.
Till they start talking.
Right. Until they start talking. And then
well, kill it.
It's just like, I don't know what he just said, but I think he was quoting Mein Kampf. Kill that thing.
Sound a little Mein Kampfy.
Does somebody have a Mein Kampf audiobook turned on?
Oh no.
We've heard them speak German before, right? Like that's happened.
No?
No, I think we have, but it was not like a whole episode. It was like a little one-off thing, like a
montage of them invading different countries or something. Because
yeah. I think that happened in that one episode, the Stolen Earth, that one.
Oh,
yeah. I think it's in that
you're
one.
right.
Yeah, pretty sure.
They're so German coded.
They really are.
Yeah, how many times have we done the inferior Dalek must be destroyed by superior Dalek?
Sense or like period? Like
you know what I mean? Even just in like Russell T's era, right? Because like, isn't that what the bad two-parter in season 3 is about? The one where they're in New York?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't they get like disintegrated by something at like in the finale of 9's season, right?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're
so
right.
This is just like, I don't know, it felt kind of stale.
And also the Daleks get the Daleks in, what is that episode? Victory of the Daleks get
with
by the Apple Daleks. The Apple Store Daleks, iPod Daleks. iMac Daleks, whatever it was that everyone
Power
called them.
Daleks.
Yeah.
The Power Ranger Daleks.
I miss those guys.
I know. They're like, we are the superior Daleks. You will never see us again.
Oh boy. Yeah, bring those back. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
People didn't like them.
I know.
Yeah. People really hated those guys. But I think maybe enough time has gone by now that I think you could circle back on them. I really do.
Yeah, like Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Where everybody pretends that movie's a masterpiece now, all of a sudden.
A Sith Lord? Sorry. I had to watch that recently for New Republic Archives, and I'm like, you know, just because compelling stuff is happening doesn't mean it's being told in a compelling way. That's kind of my thesis for. But that's another. You listen to that podcast. It's 4 hours.
This weirdly, listening to this made me kind of want to rewatch Battlestar Galactica, just because of like the lady president who's like found herself in a situation that's like way out of her league, but she kind of like makes do, you know?
Yeah.
Rosalind's way cooler than Clint though, so.
Oh yeah.
Wow. I know we don't do a lot of American actors in Who, but I just suddenly was like, God, there's so many Galactica alumni that would be really fun to see in Who, like Grace Park,
Ooh.
Edward James Olmos, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A Mexican doctor, just think of it. What a concept.
God. Actually, they're overdue for that because they need to make up for the Aztecs being all white people.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
They need to
do like a Legacy
back.
Sequel.
Yeah, they need to circle back, have Edward James Olmos in there. That would be great.
He needs to meet Marco Polo again. That would be nuts.
Oh yeah.
I'd love that.
That would be really good. All right. Well, that's Blood of the Daleks. It's a quickie. Going forward, when we do these, we're going to be doing 2 episodes each time. But there'll be 2 different episodes, which is fun. So they won't be like 2-parters. It'll just be like 2 one-off episodes, which I think will be fun and give us a lot to talk about so that these episodes aren't like 15 minutes long. Yeah. So
what do we think of Haley Atwell? Like maybe Haley Atwell, like pretty
she's a fucking great actor, you know? Yeah.
I didn't it doesn't sound like her. Like I saw her name on the credits and I was like, who is she playing? And it was like the scientist lady, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And like because like it wasn't immediately apparent like David Tennant was last week, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Haley Atwell has like more of a presence, you know? Like she's less of like a voice actor. And so like when you hear just her voice separated from her presence, like it's not going to be a necessarily like immediately like click, like, oh yeah, that's Haley Atwell.
Well, it didn't sound like Peggy you know, because like that's primarily where I know her from. So like I don't know, I was like charmed by it.
Yeah. Is her accent like a little more posh?
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm Captain Carter, the most important person in the Marvel universe.
It's a little snappier.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But no, she's great in this. What did you think, Nick?
You shag Natalie Dormer, Steve. I'm mad at you, Steve. Yeah, no, it was fun. I thought Martez was a fun villain. I thought she did a good job. I think, of playing this kind of like, the mad scientist character, especially, like you said, of her being like early 20s, as she probably was doing this,
Yeah. It's really shows you the difference between, just like general American acting and people who are classically trained.
Yeah.
Just like, you just got this like 23-year-old woman playing a like, I'd assume 50-plus-year-old male scientist, like, and you're like, yeah, that seems about right. Like,
cool.
I think that's what that would sound like. Crazy.
So what's our next Lucie Miller adventure called, Scott?
Oh, our next Lucie Miller adventure we're doing 2 episodes. So we have an episode called Horror of Glam Rock.
Whoa.
Yep.
That sounds fun.
And Immortal Beloved. Horror of Glam Rock features Bernard Cribbins as a music producer. It's the best. It's the best.
Wow.
Immortal Beloved, I don't remember by name, but Horror of Glam Rock, I'll never forget.
God, I wish it was called Horror of Glam Rock. That's amazing.
So anyway, that's what we'll be talking about next time we're on Lucie Miller. But next week we'll be revisiting Gridlock from series 3. One of my favorite episodes from a very good season of Doctor Who. So, yeah. Gridlock. Next week.
Listen to it when you're in traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll either make you feel better or worse. It's going to be one of those things. All right. We will talk to you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.